I looked up and I was like, oh, it's 11. We need to go.
I know. Sorry, guys. We were running a few minutes late, but how are you this morning, Miss Haley?
Um, Realizing that I need to start like getting my crap together so I can go to Europe
I I
in
know. I'm excited. You leave a week from
5 days.
Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, we'll save your trip preview for next week. We
I'm low key freaking out. I keep looking at the temperatures and I'm like,
You know what? We'll talk about that too on this week. So, guys, let's dig in. We have some fun things to talk about. I am Jason Poole. I am a travel advisor with Cruise Planners, and we have some fun stuff to talk about. We keep it fair and balanced here. You'll see what we mean here later.
very fair and balanced this week.
Very fair and balanced. We have some, we're talking about what's going on over in Greece, what's happening domestically, some exciting things. To join me this morning is my good friend, travel expert, hotel expert, Haley. How are you this morning?
Like I said, I'm good. I'm just realizing, like, oh my gosh, this trip's here and I gotta get it together. But there's some really good stuff today. I mean, articles were a little hit or miss, but I think what we got is great.
No, I think so too. So we'll start off. This is something that has been discussed a lot, and it's people have been asking me questions about it. So I kind of thought it was a good idea to address it on the show. So starting in 2024, Americans are going to be required to get a visa to visit Europe. And it's only going to be €7, so it's very inexpensive. But you're going to have it. Depending on what part of Europe, it's going to be available from up to 90 days or any 180-day period. So you have to get it within 90 days of going, and it's good for 180 days. And you have to make sure you have a valid
Now,
visa.
just to be clear, just because I hear it on here, is that 9 or 9D?
90, 90,
Okay.
90. So it's only €7. It's going to be super easy. It's going to be almost trivial to get, but it is going to be required. If you show up in Europe without a visa, you will not be allowed to enter, go through passport control.
So keep in
So,
mind, if you have a couple trips planned to Europe, you only have to do this once if they fall within a 180-day
yep, yep,
period. Because you and I go a couple times a year.
yep. Yeah, so Europe used to be visa free, and we could go up to 6 months without a visa. So, before people start complaining about Europe, guys, Europeans to come to America have to have a visa. So it's just, you know, I mean,
We've
look,
just been lucky for
we've been
now.
lucky. We've been lucky, and I didn't put it in the article, but starting in October, Brazil is also requiring Americans to get a visa as well. So I think look, I get these countries, right? Like, wait a minute, you require us to come get a visa to come to America. Well, we can start getting some extra revenue. I mean, think of €7
Yeah,
for every American. That is a lot of money.
yeah. It's a
And so,
lot of money. I think it makes sense.
yeah, I am totally okay with this, totally okay. But we have to get it. So more information about it, links posted. But 2024 visa is required. All right. Speaking of increasing fees, Uber and Lyft are increasing their fees at the Orlando airport. Why? MCO is increasing the fees for Lyft and Uber to come pick up guests at the airport. Lyft and Uber are a little mad because taxis only pay $4 a pickup. Lyft and Uber are now being charged $7 a pickup. They're kind of fighting it, asking for clarification, but just keep in mind if you're getting an Uber or a Lyft at MCO, it is going to be a little bit more
Do you
expensive.
do you think it's a liability thing?
I don't know. I think it's, I don't know. I mean, you kind of stumped me. I don't know. I mean, if I had to guess,
Yeah, no, I know we're just chatting here. I'm wondering if it's a liability thing, and I almost wonder if it's an effort for the sake of partnership with the taxi companies
could be.
too. Um, because I'm not gonna lie, depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing, I will opt for a quick taxi, like Miami.
Oh, You know what?
Like Miami can be really crazy with rideshare.
I've waited
When
30. I talked to you on the phone
yeah,
last time I was down there for like 30 minutes waiting for a
I
ride.
just I don't do that in Miami anymore. I just go get a taxi and I go. I know I could get my Delta Sky Miles with my Lyft, but like sometimes I just want to go get in a car and get out
Absolutely.
of town. And I do, and I honestly I do the same thing in New York, depending as well,
Yep.
depending on
No,
where I'm going.
so last time I was in Miami, I did do a taxi. My life almost ended, but you know what? I got there faster. I made it. I made it faster. So keep in mind for flying to MCO. Now we have some exciting news for our Delta
Yes,
people.
those
If
Delta people.
those Delta people, if you've been to JFK, you know the Sky Club over in Terminal B. The wait can be just crazy, 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 crazy. Yes, they have a priority
You
line.
mean Terminal 4, right?
Terminal 4, yeah, it's over in the Concourse B area. I'm sorry, Terminal 4.
The, this Atlanta guy over here.
I'm, true, true. Terminal 4, but it is over by the B gates. And guys, yes, they have priority for Diamond Medallion. They have priority access for Delta 360.
And I
For
really like that lounge. It's one of my, I would say, top five
I actually
clubs.
I think it's a good lounge. The problem is it's just overcrowded,
Oh,
right?
it's so big too.
It is so big. I've waited a while. Like last time I was in JFK, I actually went to the Express Lounge, which was nothing exciting, but they did it as kind of a temporary option because they've just opened a second Sky Club in Terminal 4, but it is, oh my God, yeah, Terminal 4, but it's over with the A gates. So I have been doing a lot of flights lately with Delta over in the A gates. So that's like past the Virgin gates, the Virgin Clubhouse, that's past all the Emirates, the international stuff. And so Delta is just kind of taking over like some of the new A gates. So it makes sense to have the Sky Club over in that.
That terminal is just so big.
Well, you know what? And I wonder once Terminal 1 is refitted, if the Emirates and who else is over in Terminal 4? Like, is Singapore over there?
I think Singapore's over there.
I wonder if they're going to all move to Terminal 1. So if you guys don't know, JFK Terminal 1 is the international terminal.
And to give you guys an idea of how big it is, if you haven't connected up there, there's signs from when you go through TSA when you fly Delta in Terminal 4 that if you are down at like B54, it's going to take you anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to walk there. Like they're
I'd argue 10 to 12 minutes.
for you. For other people that are like under 5'5", it takes 15 to 20 minutes. And you and I have even joked that like, you'll be walking down because it's long. It's a
My Apple Watch has said like, are you doing a workout? Oh, Haley, are you there? Did I lose you for a second? There you go. Okay, I lost you for a second. Yeah, no, it's on. So I'm glad. Hopefully, this is going to relieve some congestion. But there for a little while, they were letting passengers who had flights over in Terminal 4 Concourse A to go to the Virgin upper class lounge, like is their lounge. So great news. I'm super excited to see it. So
I'm not sure if it counted during the glitch, but I think you and I were saying the same thing of how long that terminal is. That your watch is like, do you want to start a workout?
it is crazy. It is crazy. All right, guys. So that's the good Delta news. We keep it fair. We keep it balanced here.
Well, shameful to talk about this one.
Yeah. So recently, a Delta flight was stuck on the tarmac in Las Vegas. The outdoor temperatures reached 111 degrees. The plane, so planes have a like a, I don't remember what the exact terminology is. If Jarvis were here, he could explain this much better than me. But it's basically like an alternator generator battery setup, right? So they can operate AC when they're not flying. We've all been on the plane where it's really, really hot, but once we get in the air, the AC kicks in. Okay. They're allowed to fly if that does not work. But when you're stuck on the tarmac for hours in temperatures over 100 degrees without AC,
In a tin can.
in a tin can. People were throwing up.
Passing out.
People were passing out. Paramedics were called. They were literally getting people off the plane. Guys, that is not cool. Like Delta, I don't. I mean, I don't know if we're blaming Delta, air traffic control, the airport, all of the above, right? But at the end of the day, it was Delta passengers on a Delta plane. And rightly so, the Department of Transportation is investigating Delta and their actions. Like they should have gone back to the gate if people are throwing up and passing out. So I am glad that Secretary Buttigieg and the Department of Transportation are on top of this. They need to do something. Like you just I don't know what the solution is, but that is not cool.
No, it's not. And, and I have to say, I've noticed a trend in flights that I've taken and also flights that I've seen from all the legacy carriers, be it if I'm on Instagram, TikTok, or whatnot, of people sitting on the tarmac. I mean, Jeff just came home from Independence and sat 90 minutes waiting for takeoff.
I sat at JFK one time, just JFK to Nashville for 2 hours on the tarmac. Luckily, the AC was on, wasn't that bad, but we sat there for 2 hours. Just sat there. So it's, yeah.
I don't understand. Like, I guess I understand the bigger picture of how that's run. So it's hard to figure out where to point that finger.
Right. Because I mean, look, we're not, and we're not in the Atlanta Operations Center. We're not in the tower with air traffic control. We're not at the gate. We're not the pilot. We're not the flight attendants. It's hard for us to really understand. So yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me have a question today, but I do want to say a quick hello. We've got Cruising Q in here, Dream with Josh is in here, Beach Bum Dave, Mark Pizzo. I think I grabbed everybody for now, at least on my side, and I'm sure you have some on yours.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for joining today. So our question of the day pertains to me, and I'm really excited. And I didn't come up with this question, but so Jason, is it safe to travel to Greece? And does my travel insurance cover wildfires?
So great question. Is it safe to travel to Greece? Yes, with an asterisk here. And by the way, Kathleen just said she's old school. She's watching on my Facebook. Yes, it's safe to travel to Greece, but I would not go to any of the affected islands. Like I wouldn't go to like Rhodes. Like I don't think cruise ships are going to be calling on the old town and Rhodes. So yes, would I go to Mykonos? Would I go to Santorini? Yes, I would. The other places,
and this happens almost every summer somewhere in Greece, I feel like.
It does. Look, it is a dry, like people often think of Greece as being like this like lush tropical environment. It's really not. I mean, Mykonos, I love Mykonos, but there's a lot of Mykonos. Like when you get from the terminal over to like Jackie O's, which I love, like they're right over, it looks like you're in the deserts of Nevada. Okay. Like it is not gorgeous. It's dry. It's arid.
I think, you and Rick, I think, talked about this last summer that like Greece is just, beautiful on the water, the beaches, but like aesthetically, Italy's coastline's a lot more attractive looking
because they get a lot more rain. It's more lush. There's a lot more flora, vegetation. It's prettier. Greece is known for being. I think the architecture of Greece is beautiful. Everyone knows those like white buildings, the blue domes. I think people love Greece. It's something cool about being in like islands. You're in Santorini, you're up on the cliffs. The views are beautiful. I think people like the party atmosphere of Greece, right? You go to Greece to party and have fun. But it's not a super lush environment. So yes, safe to go. Wouldn't go to the affected region. Does your travel insurance cover it? Great question. Until the government issues a do not travel warning, or flights start getting canceled, or cruises get canceled, or your land tour gets canceled, or your hotel cancels your reservation, travel insurance does not cover it. You don't the travel insurance does not cover. I just don't really feel like going, or I don't feel safe to go unless the government has issued a do not travel warning. So
So
right
does it cover if I'm, per se, all right, I'm on my last day of my cruise in Mykonos, heading to Athens, and you know, cover me having.
now, oh, you cut out for a second. I
Oh, we're
heard
having a little strange days, guys. Sorry. I
so
said, so say I'm, on my last day of my cruise going from
you
Mykonos
headed to
to
Athens. Yeah,
Athens, and there's, you've seen Athens burning flying in.
I have.
And, my hotel in Athens I'm staying at for 2 nights after catches on fire. And I've got to figure out and do something else to see.
Oh yeah, 100%. One, I would hope your hotel would do the right thing and try to rehome you somewhere else.
I would hope so too. And that's what, I've told people, like, even with the bed bug situation, like, if they're a decent person run by a decent.
Right, and where you're staying in Athens is a decent. I mean, it's a worldwide brand. Like it's. I would feel totally. And look, that is an advantage of when you are booking trips. I mean, the boutique hotels are wonderful. They're cute, but there is something nice about booking a Marriott, a Hyatt, a Hilton, anywhere in the world, because you're a little bit more. There's more options to rehome you if they have to walk you. So,
Yeah, and there's a bit of comfortability.
no, there is. There
Too.
is. Awesome.
So, our last one is our tip of the day today.
This
And I die a little bit every time I see somebody do this.
it drives me crazy. So don't post your travel reservations on social media. You know how many people post a screenshot of just booked a flight? And guys, every flight in the world has a 6-digit, which is a combination of numbers and letters, confirmation number. It's also called the passenger locator or the passenger record locator.
Yep.
And like those 6 digits of letters and numbers with someone's name, you have full access to their booking. You could do anything you want to it. And you just don't share that. And people post booked a cruise, they'll take a screenshot and not blur out the reservation. Now, cruise reservation, as crazy as it sounds, cruise reservations are actually a little bit more protected than airline reservations.
But I know there's parts of, like, Delta.com where it's like, oh, just put in your confirmation number and last name.
That's what it is. No, I mean every airline in the world is that way. Like, so clients have me all the time. Like, hey, can you pick my seats for me? Oh, I just got global entry. Can you have my own traveler number? No problem. I go to AA.com, Delta.com every day, and I just go Haley writing code AAA111. Whoo! I'm in the reservation. I do it every day. So, guys, do not post that stuff on social media. Like you and
Yeah, and and be careful, like, even with your loyalty numbers and stuff out there. I saw this video where this girl's Marriott account was hacked because she ended up checking her credit card and saw that there was, some courtyard in, like, Cleveland had authorized on her card because somebody got into her Bonvoy account.
Right. No, it happens. So just don't. I know we're excited. Just don't post your reservation numbers. Like, I don't even like to post on cruises. I don't even like to post like my room number. I'm hesitant to give just any identifying information. So I'm super careful on that stuff. So.
Well, Lorette just pinged in too, by the way. Hi, Lorette.
Oh, hello, Lorette. All right. Well, guys, that was kind of a short show today, but it's summer. Everybody should be traveling, having fun. If you're living in the heat dome of the southern United States, make sure to stay cool out there, wear your sunscreen, drink lots of water. And so next week, Haley, I want to hear all about what you have planned at all the ports. I am excited for your Eastern Med cruise. So
I'm very excited. So we'll see you all next week. Thanks for tuning.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.